Financial Survival Network. It's all about what's next.
We're back on the Financial Survival Network. You're listening to Kerry Lutz, and it's time for another episode of What's Next. So it is Tuesday, June 24th, 2014. It's 10:33 a.m. Price of gold, well, it's right around $1,321 the ounce. Silver's broken through to $21 the ounce. It's trading right around $21.03. Oh, and by the way, this episode and today's shows are brought to you by Borderless Holdings, place to go to if you're looking for bullion, if you're looking for wearable wealth. Give Seth Peretzman a call at 855-604-6343, 855-604-6343. Also brought to you by Jason Hartman at jasonhartman.com. If you're looking for real estate, not just real estate to live in, but real estate that gives you a reliable, predictable monthly cash flow. You know, Jason, he's been doing this for decades. Young guy, he's worth a fortune, and he's done it all through real estate. He still believes in owning gold, precious metals, but he's a big real estate guy, and I've looked at his formula. I've taken his courses. He knows what he's doing. So what's up for today? Well, we've got best-selling author Nomi Prins. I'm going to be talking to her about her latest best-selling book, All the President's Bankers. I'm reading it right now. It's fascinating reading. I mean, she's a phenomenal writer. Stylistically, quality of the writing in the book is really phenomenal. I mean, I'm a big literary critic. I wish I could write that well. I mean, some people just have the gift. Unfortunately, I'm not one of them. I've written a book myself. Many of you have read it. It's called Forget Wall Street, Go for the Gold and Silver. When you read this book, you understand why you want to forget Wall Street. Basically, she's making the case that every president, at least from the founding of the Fed onward, has had some type of connection to Wall Street, but mainly dealing with post-World War II. We're going to get into that much more with her. If you got questions that you want me to follow up with her on, KHL@kerrylutz.com. So yeah, you're seeing the behavior in the gold market, in the silver market, much changed. I mean, it was down a little bit earlier in the day, gold right around the 13.15 mark. Then it shot up to 13.26. Then they hammered it down to 13.20. Now it's at 13.21 while we speak. But, you know, the way that they're manipulating it, they're trying to keep the gains from going too high. They're really not able to throw it into the negative column right at this particular point. Will there come a time when they're able to throw it into the loss column again? Yeah, probably. The advances will go. Gold will find itself in a weak pattern, and they'll be able to do it, no doubt. But you can just see that this thing is. You can just see that the market. It's really changed the whole nature of the chart. I was talking with Don Harold yesterday, and he's saying, well, I think that silver hasn't hit a bottom yet. I think that silver is going to go low again. I said, Don, I think that silver's hit its low. Not sure about that for gold, but for silver, I'm pretty confident that it's hit its cycle low, and it'll probably go up from here. And he's pointing to a lot of the people that you've heard on the show who've been saying for the past 3 years that it's going higher and higher as it's gone lower and lower. You know, I don't really try to pick highs and lows, and I'm really not a good market timer. At this point, though, I feel that so much of the froth, so much of the optimism has been driven out of the market. We're only left with pessimism now. And I feel that most of the people who have been in a position where they've had to sell and where were forced to sell, those people are gone. The weak holders from the market have been driven out, and that's what what bear markets are about. And I don't think we've been in a bear market the past 3 years. What you have are short-term durations, short-term cycles, medium-term cycles, and long-term cycles. We've been in a long-term bull market in precious metals since 2000 or 2001, take your pick. And what we've had in the past 3 years is an interim or an intermediate market cycle. And I always have felt that it's much easier to pick a bottom in the market than it is to pick a top, because tops by their very nature are uncharted, unknown. You can't really know where a top is. I mean, look at the stock market. Nobody can really pick a top when it's uncharted territory. You could say now, oh, we've topped. And everybody who's been saying for the past year or 2 or 3 that the stock market is topped has been proven wrong time and time and time again. And that's what's going to happen with precious metals. Don made a great call 3 years ago. He said, sell your precious metals, sell them. And he was right. If you were a weak holder and if you needed money, he was spot on. But if you were a long-term holder like myself, you wanted to hold on to your metals because you knew that that none of the fundamentals have changed, that the long-term future for the dollar, for fiat currency is all down. And Don himself says that at this point, he's a buyer, not a seller. He's accumulating silver at this point. So he says, and I have a lot of respect for Don, especially because he went against virtually everyone in the silver market and the precious metals markets 3 years ago and earned a lot of animus and hostility as a result. Takes a lot of guts to make a call like Don did 3 years ago. You want to find out more about Don, you can go check out daytradeshow.com. And Don's a personality just like I am. But Don made that call when everyone else was saying it was going to go up. Personally, I thought it was going to go up. If you asked me, could it go down 60%? Could it go from 50 to 20 or 18? I didn't think it was possible, but I didn't think it was impossible either. I know in these types of markets and the type of economic turmoil that you and I have been going through, anything is possible. So Don made a great call. And, the people who kept saying it's going up, up, and up in the face of declining markets for the past 3 years, you kind of have to classify us as stopped clock people. And I wasn't saying, no, it's going up, but I was looking for the point where it would go up again in the future. And I believe it's going to go up again at some point again in the future. But if we have massive deflation, like Bob Hoy said, you could see the dollar price of gold and silver decline dramatically, but you could see the point where the average house price goes down to the low $100,000 range, and it takes very few ounces of gold to buy that average house. So gold is money, silver is money. It's just a recognition by the public that we're waiting for, that the public acknowledges that precious metals are in fact money. To some extent, that's going to be a recognition by the government, once again, that it's money. The government's going to be brought to the table kicking and screaming, let's face it. So a couple of things, if you want to support the show, clubfsn.com, $1, $2 a month, whatever you want, no pressure, but we'd love your help because I really want to set up our video studio. I want to stream 24/7, want to get additional hosts onto the channel so you can get the information you need to figure out what the heck to do in this tumultuous time, because, who the heck knows? You just don't know what's going to happen. I mean, that's what it comes down to. Anything is possible. The turmoil in the Middle East, turmoil in Europe, in the Ukraine, turmoil in the Far East with China kind of spreading its wings and asserting its power. And China is a world power, is becoming a superpower. But if they bring down half a dozen countries in the Far East and decide to have a war, you'll see how well they do. And their political system is unstable and people are not happy there. When I was there 17 years ago, every young person there hated the government, although they weren't really fond of telling you it, but you could understand it from the words. They're still smarting over the Cultural Revolution, or as they called it then, the Counter-Revolution. So some things to keep in mind. So follow us on Facebook at Kerry Lutz, friend us there, like us at Financial Survival Network, follow us on Twitter at Kerry Lutz, subscribe to us on iTunes Store at Financial Survival Network. Don't forget, send us emails at khl@kerrylutz.com, and we'll be looking forward to providing you with more great interviews today and throughout the week. We're trying to slow down a little bit for the summer, but honestly, we're so busy. More and more of you are listening. We've got record listenership. Don't forget, you can find us streaming on libertyexpressradio.com. Our show is on there for 2 hours, 6 to 8 p.m. daily, Monday through Friday. And keep listening.
FSN Radio. It's all about what's next. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and sign up for your free weekly newsletter. You'll also get 3 free reports. The Financial Survival Network. It's all about what's next.